Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I feel like I've talked about beauty and filler and plastic surgery and Gen Z's relationship to beauty and beautification countless times, but it seems like it is going to stay relevant for a long time and there's always something new to discuss in the discourse. But you guys seem to really like it when I talk about this stuff, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Is this a Kylie Jenner defense video? Not necessarily, but you know how I do. I like to give fair and balanced takes and look at things from different perspectives. That being said, before we get into the Kylie Jenner of it all, I want to talk about Love Island, Erin Moriarty from The Boys, and just the culture around beautification and how it seems like the harder you try to be beautiful, the more people shame you for it, and how the pursuit of beauty seems to be this double-edged sword. This is what happens when trying to be beautiful makes you ugly. Thank you to today's sponsor, HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. You know, in today's economy, eating out is just way too expensive, so why go out when you could just stay in? HelloFresh provides a free appetizer with every box, so you can get free appetizers for life by signing up for HelloFresh today. And you know, if you're someone like me who likes to work out and prioritizes healthy, protein-smart, calorie-smart meals, and you don't want to bother with meal prepping every week or having to decide what you eat every day, then HelloFresh would be a great fit for you. I know personally, as someone who cooks most of their meals at home, it can be really exhausting even just deciding what you want to eat. So HelloFresh makes everything so much more simple and takes away the hassle, with meals ready to go within 30 minutes and each box just shows up at your doorstep. It just makes my life so much easier and frees up my time to focus more on making content for you guys, enjoying life in general, enjoying my summer. It's summertime. No one's trying to spend all day in the grocery store, slaving away in the kitchen. You can just let HelloFresh take care of it and not stress so much over something as simple as feeding yourself. So if you'd like to support this channel by clicking my link in the description to HelloFresh, every purchase helps me create more awesome content for you guys. So just know, clicking on that link, signing up for HelloFresh helps more than you know. Thank you again to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to the scheduled programming. Thank you. So like I was saying, as many of you know, beautification culture has reached an all-time high when it comes to the normalization of cosmetic procedures, plastic surgery, filler, even Ozempic, down to looks maxing, which I've talked about on this channel, as well as anti-aging, or even getting down to the nitty-gritty micro beautifications like beauty maintenance. Also made a video on that, and the importance people hold on beauty maintenance, like getting your nails done every week, microblading, skincare, things like that. And on top of that, it's not just the things that we consume, the things that we buy that makes me believe that we have this extreme obsession with beauty now more than ever. It's also the way we talk about beauty and how Gen Z, specifically on social media, likes to make trends out of beauty confirmation. I have an old video all about the whole like Gen Z's obsession with beauty confirmation thing, but like it's not enough just to get the products that will make you more beautiful or the procedures. It's also about like catering your consumption to a certain category to try to embody a certain aesthetic. Aesthetics are nothing new, but it's not just how you dress, it's also like the shape of your face. Do you have the negative canthal tilt? And if you have this canthal tilt, that makes you fox pretty, or bunny pretty, girl pretty, boy pretty. Like there's all these different sorts of categories that women are trying to fit themselves into online, or at least take these categories and assign it to themselves, because I feel like people need this confirmation of like, I am pretty this way and I have these certain features which scientifically proves that I am beautiful. Again, with like the canthal tilt, or like your face ratio, which face shape is ideal. Even something like when you go to get like the swatches put on your chest to see which colors look best on you, like are you winter, are you a summer? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I just feel like that has become trendy again because of this kind of beauty obsession that I'm talking about. Things like the Kibbe body test have also become popular again in the past few years. I feel like the reason why people are so obsessed with categorizing themselves and defining every inch of their body is so that in a way they can feel more comfortable in their skin and they can like do all the right things to make them look the most attractive, because it seems like the bar just keeps getting higher and higher these days when it comes to beauty and what is considered beautiful, specifically for female beauty. And, you know, for a generation that likes to claim everyone's beautiful and, you know, we preach acceptance and self-love, we are also obsessed with looking as beautiful as we can in a very specific way. We all kind of want to look the same. That's why we have things like IG face, and that's why filler and all these trending surgeries are popular, because we're all trying to be the most beautiful version of ourselves, but in that pursuit, we're all kind of looking like clones, and we all are starting to have the same face. But of course, filler and the kind of uncanny valley IG face thing is going away, and people are developing this disdain for that look, and natural beauty is in. Natural beauty is cooler now. And I think aside from just the natural progression of how trends come and go, I think people are starting to embrace natural beauty more and condemn fillers is because we're starting to see the long-term effects of fillers and what it does to your face.
So what you're looking at here is an MRI image of a 33-year-old patient who had over 12 cc, just 12 syringes of hyaluronic acid filler injected to her face over the past 6 years. Now, the area that is green is the hyaluronic acid filler. Now, what's interesting here is that when we did volumetric analysis, that means when we measured the amount of filler, the amount of volume that was there, it ended up being close to 28 cc, which is more than twice the amount of filler that was injected. And what this shows us is that hyaluronic acid fillers are hydrophilic. That means they love water, and they also cause tissue expansion. So that's important to know. And over the next several videos, I'm going to explain what are the problems associated with these things, how do we treat them. And there is a lot of misconception about dissolving, and we'll address some of those issues and concerns.
People are saying, oh, Gen Z ages like milk. And I don't think it's because there's anything different about our skin or the quality of life or whatever. I think because we get filler. Like Gen Z and millennials get a lot of filler. And so we're seeing young Gen Z women who are like in their early 20s looking 10 years older because they're getting work done that women in their 40s usually would get. I also think with like social media and stuff, young girls have more resources to appear older online. I say online because I think for the most part, like if you're looking at a 16-year-old girl, let alone talking to a 16-year-old girl, you're going to catch on that she's 16. But the internet's a different place. You can kind of manipulate your images and make yourself look older with makeup, angles, lighting, Photoshop, etc. And so I think that's why people think Gen Z looks older. And so that brings me to my next point. Love Island. So recently, female Love Island contestants have gone viral for looking old. People are saying, oh, they look so old, or else they're in their 20s, but they look like they're 40, 50. And there was a TikTok that went viral of this doctor who performs these cosmetic procedures, and he's like guessing what procedures they've had done and also how old they are.
Guess if they're natural or not, and then say what you think they have done.
Okay. 38, lips, nose. Yeah, so obviously she had some work done, in my opinion.
And then this is Nicole.
Are those two different photos of the same person?
Yes, they're one above.
No, this is
Or
Nicole.
yes, yeah, they're the same person, but two different photos. This is like her on Instagram versus her like, yeah, she's 26.
Oh God.
And Nicole is 24.
Oh my God.
Harriet is 24.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't watch this show, maybe I should, but this is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, plastic surgery and injectables done incorrectly can make you look older.
I don't know what his intentions were when it came to making this video, but obviously the message was negative in the sense that he's like, oh, these women look so much older than they actually are. They shouldn't look that way. You know, you can get fillers done, but if you get bad filler, it'll mess up your face. And it was just kind of sad to watch because I think it's fresh coming from someone who is a professional in the cosmetic industry who gives fillers and Botox and all this stuff. Whether it's intentional or not, there is an undercurrent of ridicule to many of these posts. There's certainly something quite unsettling about watching someone whose livelihood is inextricably tied up in promoting a certain kind of aesthetic ideal essentially rate and review these women's attempts to reach that ideal and then find it wanting. The Islanders are being called out essentially for having had the wrong sort of treatments, ones which are too obvious and therefore distasteful. It's a sentiment that reminds us that when it comes to our looks, women simply can't win.
If I were a plastic surgeon using TikTok to market myself to build my reputation, and I happened to film a video guessing how old certain reality stars looked, my guesses were way off. If I happened to think that they were much older than they actually are, I would simply decline to post the video, out of respect for them as fellow humans on this earth, and out of recognition that the only reason I have a house a car, a life, is because of the same beauty standards that I am mocking them for having tried to attain. If I happen to be the kind of man that can only pay his bills every month because capitalism and misogyny have converged to tell women that they're not good enough, I would maybe have a little shame.
Like, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a double-edged sword when you're trying to make yourself more beautiful, because if you do it the wrong way, people are going to hate you for it and just call you ugly, even though they're calling you ugly before without the procedures. And people hate it when women try to be beautiful and they make it shown. They make it obvious that they are trying to make themselves more attractive. You have to be beautiful as a woman, but if you are caught trying too hard, that's just as bad as being ugly, pretty much. And God forbid you're an ugly woman, because you have no worth or value on this planet, obviously. But that's why these women do it in the first place. It's like they want to be considered beautiful because that increases their social capital, because beauty is currency. And if you're not tiptoeing the line right enough, you are going to be condemned and ridiculed either side you fall on. Would I be lying if I said, oh, I don't think filler has any negative effects on someone's appearance? Yeah, I do think that if you are getting too much filler too young, it can do damage to your face in ways that you probably don't want. I remember I heard someone say like 50-year-old women get filler to look 40, and now 20-year-old women are getting filler and look 40. And I do think that is kind of true. Like, it does age you, it does make you look older if you are getting too much filler and you're also like too young to be getting it. I think Gen Z took the whole preemptive Botox thing way too seriously, and just, yeah, we can just get as much work done as we want on our faces, on our premature faces, because it'll like pause the aging process. But in reality, it's just speeding it up. So I could be wrong about this. I'm not a plastic surgeon or anything like that. But from what I've heard from other people who have gotten fillers, what happens is like when you're pumping your face with so much filler, eventually you're gonna stretch out the skin in your face and you're gonna rely on the filler to keep your face looking full. Whereas someone who's in their 50s, and, you know, they've lost the collagen or whatever, they have wrinkles, they have more of that, like, empty space in their face, they get the filler to fill the face, and then it reduces the fine lines and wrinkles that they have. So it doesn't make sense to, like, stretch out your face just to give yourself wrinkles, and then you just have to keep getting more and more filler so your face isn't, like, falling off of your skull. I just feel like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I think a lot of the reason why people get filler is because they do feel like there's something wrong with their face that needs to be changed, which is sad to think about, but it's like, why else would people be getting face altering procedures, right? And I think a lot of that comes from the internet. Like, there's things that I think a lot of women didn't feel insecure about, and then they went on the internet and someone was like, do you have this kind of eyebrow arch? Do you have a full face? You know, get this, what is it? The buccal fat removal, get a upper blepharoplasty, whatever it's called. You wouldn't even be thinking that if you hadn't seen these TikToks or these articles or these celebrities getting it, and you've like created this insecurity in your mind that wasn't there before. And it's all just to sell you stuff. It's all just to get you, like I said in that one video, to separate you from your money. And it's so like infuriating to see, because I just feel like so many girls end up regretting their filler or trying to get it dissolved, and they can't fully get it dissolved because sometimes it just stays there and it migrates to places, and they get so upset because they're like, oh my god, my face looks so different and I can never go back to how it was. And it was all because of a trend. It was all because of a temporary trend. And that's a really scary thing, is like, these procedures do have long-term effects, especially if you're doing it over and over again. Permanently altering your body for a trend that's going to disappear in a couple years is just, it's sad to me, honestly. And it's just unnecessary. Like, I don't think we should be making permanent solutions for temporary issues. Wait, I think I just turned an anti-suicide phrase into an anti-plastic surgery thing, but you know what I'm trying to say. And you know how I know this is like a trend that really is out the door? Is because celebrities are also being like, not only am I admitting to getting filler, I'm also not getting filler anymore and or dissolving it. Courtney Cox, Ariana Grande, even Kylie Jenner has said she has dissolved some of her filler, and we'll talk about her in a moment, but it's not cool anymore. And it sucks when everyone's like, oh yeah, filler isn't cool anymore, but you've still got it. You still got it stuck in your face, and you're like, oh, okay, now what? And everyone's calling you ugly because you got the thing that everyone said would make you more beautiful. These Love Island women, and any woman who has gotten filler, Botox, surgery, whatever, they're just responding to the world around them. They're responding to social media, maybe even comments, society at large. if they were actually on an island with no internet access, no like comprehension for the outside world, society, and culture, they probably wouldn't be like, oh, I need lip filler. That has nothing to do with like your survival or your quality of life as a human being, at least on the most basic level. Like I said, beauty is currency. If you're more beautiful, your quality of life actually might increase. But a lot of these surgeries and fillers and all this stuff is just what the outside world is telling you. And when it comes to people on Love Island, like, yeah, of course most of them are going to have filler because they're on TV. And a lot of the people who are on Love Island were influencers before they started or want to be influencers after the show. So when you're someone who's involved in entertainment, whether it's TV, film, music, social media, when you're on camera like that all the time and you're in the public, you're way more likely to get fillers and surgeries and all these things done to your face and body, because that's supposed to help you leverage your career. It's supposed to help you get more opportunities if you're more beautiful. And also just in general, I think when you're on TV and you're constantly looking at yourself, or you're on camera in general, like you see yourself way more than other people maybe see themselves. You're looking at yourself far more than the average person with a mirror and like maybe a front-facing camera on their iPhone. Like myself included, I'm a YouTuber. I'm on camera all the time. I'm constantly looking at my face on Final Cut Pro. After a while, you start to see things that maybe you wouldn't have seen before because you just spend so much time with your face. And when you are someone who is in the public eye, it's not just your own inner thoughts anymore or your own self-talk. It's also what other people say about you. It's also comments and articles and whatever. Like people are commenting on your appearance way more because you are just exposed more. And I mean, if you're insecure and you're working in the entertainment industry and you're like really sensitive to those things, like you're going to be so prone and so likely to getting work done and probably going overboard because you might have developed some body dysmorphia along the way. In 2022, the British Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons reported that demand for Botox had increased by 124% compared to the previous year, and the overall UK market for injectables is predicted to reach £11.7 billion in just 2 years' time. Our insecurities, it seems, are making other people rich. Well, yes. Hello, like, I've been saying this. I think a lot of people have been saying this. But yeah, I mean, it's like that uptick in Botox isn't coming from 70-year-old women. It's coming from girls in their 20s. And like I was saying with like people in entertainment, I get why they would get surgery or filler because they're on camera. But now with social media, it's become so normalized to get all this work done that everyday people feel the need to get fillers and Botox. Like your local bartender literally has like 12 syringes in their face. And it's just like, why? Why? Like, really, what is it all for? Obviously, to be more beautiful, but like, damn. By now, it's widely accepted that social media has had a pretty deleterious impact on our collective self-image. To have access to likes of Instagram and TikTok is to have a constantly available, apparently never-ending stream of photos and videos of people who seem to better fit the conventional beauty standards that were previously propagated mainly in films and fashion magazines. Unless you possess truly staggering levels of self-esteem, it's hard not to feel that you're horribly lacking in some way, not thin enough, too much buccal fat, too many fine lines, and your algorithm will then seemingly find a way to resurface videos that explore what you can do about these perceived flaws. I feel like we live in a culture now where it's like people say, oh, love yourself on the surface, but the real messaging that's happening is, oh, you have an insecurity? Go fix it. Because you can. There's a solution. Filler, Botox, Ozempic, whatever it is. There is an easy fix for any insecurity that you could possibly have. There are so many options, and that sounds great, but I don't think that's really the answer, because guess what? You're gonna get the filler and you're still gonna feel insecure about something else, or it'll make one part of your face not proportionate, and then you have to go back and fix the other part of your face that wasn't problematic before but now is because you have new lips or you have new cheekbones. It's like the BBL thing. You get a BBL, okay, great, you have a fat ass. Now your legs are not proportionate to your body and you have to go figure that out. Or you get lipo, but you never made a lifestyle change and you gain the weight back, and then you have to keep getting lipo over and over again until you realize, oh, I actually need to like take care of my body a certain way to maintain these surgery results. I think it's common sense that easy fixes are never that easy. Easy fixes aren't real. There's always a flip side to it. Of course, Love Islanders also play a part in perpetuating a certain image to others. They're at once victim and perpetrator. There is a really horrible, unrealistic expectation of women that you need to look perfect, but you need to look perfect naturally, former Islander Sharon Gafka has said, "I had these procedures, went on Love Island, and then was making another young woman feel like she needed these procedures in order to be deemed attractive. Pre-show tweakments have become part of the Love Island narrative, with tabloids clamoring to place older before photos alongside newer glammed up ones." I have a lot of respect for this Love Island contestant for saying that, because although yes, we should all be free to do as we please with our bodies, bodily autonomy is a human right that is not up for debate whatsoever. But I think sometimes with that discussion, which is why the idea of choice feminism is kind of problematic, is that our actions still have an effect on the collective. Just because you're making a choice for yourself individually, that doesn't mean it's not going to impact other people around you. And as a woman, like, we have to acknowledge that what we do is going to promote a certain value or a certain message. Like, as women, we can't just be like, oh yeah, girl, get the filler, get the surgery, do whatever you want, like, it up, then also say like, yes, I think plastic surgery is bad for women, and we're gonna shame Kylie Jenner for ruining us and creating this unrealistic beauty standard because it's like a conflicting idea. Like, yes, Kylie Jenner and her family members created this unrealistic beauty standard because they as women got work done on themselves as individuals and promoted this kind of lifestyle and this beauty standard. Their individual actions had an effect on the collective. Now, obviously, the Kardashians are way more influential than the average person. They're massive celebrities, but it does trickle down. And then it's like, let's say if I have a group of girlfriends and like one of them gets Botox or filler, the other ones are more likely to think, oh, well, I guess that's fine because my friend did it, so I should do it too. But it would be hypocritical if that friend with the Botox was like, oh my God, love yourself. You don't need it. But it's like, well, you got it. So what am I supposed to do? I've been thinking about this with myself because I'm talking about all this stuff and I've talked about the effects of filler and Botox. What if tomorrow I was like, you know what? I really want lip filler, or I really want plastic surgery of any kind. Like, am I setting a bad example being like, oh, actually take everything back. I got plastic surgery because it's my individual choice, but you guys should avoid it at all costs. Like, it doesn't make sense. Again, I'm not anti-plastic surgery. So I want to make that clear. I just think we should like be really careful about why we get plastic surgery. And like, I love that celebrities are more transparent about the work that they get done, but I don't want people just getting BBLs and boob jobs and lip filler because Kylie Jenner did it and she looks good, so I should do it too. And then as a collective, we're all getting these surgeries and increasingly participating in this beauty standard that we all seem to disdain. Even Kylie Jenner disdains it, but she served a heavy hand in creating it. So it's like, what are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to other women by participating in these procedures that heavily are linked to this patriarchal society that we're living in? We don't like the patriarchy, but we're still like participating in it. And you could even say wearing makeup is participating in the patriarchy, so whatever. But makeup is not as detrimental as plastic surgery, so I hope you get what I'm trying to say there. We cannot complain about the patriarchy, or we can't complain about like these unrealistic beauty standards and then turn around and get a fucking face transplant, you know? And I know some people really love the filler because it makes them feel more confident, and that's great. Like, again, it's too much of a blanket statement to be like, oh, I'm anti-plastic surgery, I'm anti this. But I think it's important as women to acknowledge that, like, we're playing into a system that we don't want by getting all this work done and not thinking about it at all. Anyway, moving on from that rant, I read an interesting quote from an article that I read in preparation for this video. Dermatologist Dr. Brooke Jeffy adds, "There's a growing segment of the population who seek out cosmetic treatments because they look unnatural. Looking like you had work done," she says, "is the point. They want to have that look to fit in, for people to know that they can afford it. It's a status symbol." I actually said this in my veneers video. The same exact thing was said by another doctor. People want the look of these obvious veneers and the obvious filler because it makes them look like they have money, because only rich people get work done, which isn't necessarily true, because I think the people who get this like really poorly done work on their face are kind of skimping out and trying to get like a discounted version of these fillers because they want to participate in it and try to look a certain way and look like they come from a certain background, but they can't actually afford the good doctors, so they get botched filler.
One time this dude I was talking to said that I looked poor because I don't have any filler, and that he normally only dates girls with filler because they look rich. So felt the need to share.
Mocking the Islanders doesn't really help dismantle any of these standards or ask why they may have felt the need to change their looks in the first place. It just unhelpfully berates them for not having opted for better, more subtle treatments. There's also a not so subtle dose of classism at play here too. Young women who might not have the vast amounts of disposable income required to book in with, say, a Harley Street doctor are criticized for opting for cheaper treatments with more conspicuous results. And like I said in the veneers video, when it comes to messing with your body, don't try to be frugal, because you're always going to regret it. Like, please. Of all the things to try to save money on, your body is not the one. All that to be said, Kylie Jenner is an extremely wealthy woman, and even she still has obvious filler. So I don't think it's entirely a class issue, because you can be rich and still get work done that's not good. Now, in this case, I would guess that someone like Kylie Jenner, who has so much power, influence, and money, can just get whatever doctor to do whatever she wants. Or if a doctor doesn't do what she wants, she'll just go find another one. Like, it's kind of like the Michael Jackson situation, you know? But I also believe that, like, you can pay a lot of money and still get really bad filler or bad work done. It happens. Yeah, maybe Kylie Jenner also wanted to symbolize her status and her wealth through excessive, obvious plastic surgery. That very well could be true. It's not like the Kardashians are known for quiet luxury. So, speaking of Kylie Jenner went viral for crying about being bullied online for her appearance.
It's like a miracle that I still have confidence and I could still like look in the mirror and think that I'm pretty, because I just feel like after Paris there was like this picture, which for the first time I was like, okay, we're not gonna wear a lot of makeup. So it's like I'm wearing too much makeup, and it's like, you're wearing too much makeup. Then I go and I don't wear a lot of makeup and someone catches me in like a weird light. You can look at pictures since I'm 13. I just have these lines, but I've had them since I was a child. I'm kind of like so numb to people talking about my looks at this point, and I just want to know why on the internet no one says anything or think that it's okay.
People have called BS on her statement and have claimed that, you know, they don't care, they don't feel bad for her because her and her sisters have created this unrealistic beauty standard for women, and it's gotten so unrealistic that they themselves can't even keep up with it. And it's like, we don't feel bad for you because you did this to yourself. And there's so many women and so many girls out there who feel exactly like you do, Kylie Jenner, because of you and your family.
Was Kylie Jenner crying when she saw the impression she made on 13-year-old girls who were sucking on shot glasses to get big lips like hers, only to be sent to the hospital with sometimes permanent damage? No, she said, don't do that, just buy my lip kit. That's how I got my lips so big, because she violently gaslit an entire generation into thinking she didn't get any surgery, and the results were by a product that she made, while she laughed all the way to the bank. I saw the clip of her crying over the ugly photo, and the only thing I could think of is, indirectly or directly, you have capitalized, made an entire career off of that feeling. You sitting there on the couch feeling like that is how an entire generation of women felt and thought they had to be like you and buy your products and do this and that. That's the only reason you made money, and you expect us to feel bad for you?
And Kylie has had the biggest transformation out of all of the sisters. I mean, she literally looks like a completely different person compared to when she was younger. And no, it's not just because of puberty. So it's kind of ironic in a way that the member of the family that has had probably the most work done is crying about people making fun of their appearance. But maybe that also kind of reveals something about her, that she felt so insecure, and maybe out of all the sisters was the most insecure about her appearance. So she got a full face body upgrade, transplant, really. Like, she just kind of completely changed her appearance. And it shows that no matter how much work done, like, you're still gonna feel insecure. Even if you look nothing like how you did before, you will still have this kind of hole inside of you. And I don't know if Kylie ever felt satisfied with her looks. I don't know if it was like, oh, she's getting all this work done, finally reaching this goal, finally perfect, and now all the surgery is like expiring or going bad. That's not really how that works, but you know what I mean. And now it's declining and people are saying she looks old after all the surgery. I have a suspicion that she probably never felt completely satisfied, but her reaction to these comments and being so open and vulnerable about it, I think reveals that her appearance has always been a massive insecurity, and she's always felt sensitive to what people say on the internet about how she looks. Like, she literally said people used to say, oh, my lips are too thin or whatever, or this boy said my lips are too thin. She's so susceptible to what other people say that she will literally spend thousands of dollars to fix the things that people say are wrong with her.
One of the biggest misconceptions about me is that I was like this insecure child and I got so much surgery to change my whole face, which is false. I've only gotten fillers, and I feel like I don't want that to be a part of my story. I will always want everyone to just love themselves.
To make matters worse, Kylie Jenner also has profited off of creating this beauty standard and lying about her procedures throughout all of that. Lipstick gate, for example. She's like, oh, you want big puffy lips like mine? Buy my lip kits. Oh, just kidding. Yes, I had filler. It's not the lip kits at all. So it's like, yeah, you're literally profiting off of people's insecurities, making money off of lies. Lies! Lies, Kylie, lies. And so it's like, yeah, why should we be wiping your tears away when you're kind of just reaping what you sowed? But listen, I still kind of feel bad for Kylie Jenner. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, listen, she's always gonna be rich. She's always gonna have her money or whatever. Or maybe not. Go watch my Kardashian deep dive video and all their failed businesses. But like, I blame Kris Jenner. Imagine having someone like Kris Jenner as your mother. That seems really hard because you know what? Kylie started getting those procedures way before she was the age she is now. She started before she was 18. I'm pretty sure. It's not like her mom was like, oh no, don't get the filler, Kylie. Don't get the Botox, Kylie. Don't get the BBL, Kylie.
Stop, don't. Bang! Stop, don't, come back. Help. Police. Murder.
No, she was like, let's go. I'll drive you to the fucking doctor's office. Like, there was nobody saying, stop, don't do this. Or if there weren't enough people. And I'm sure her mother maybe even encouraged her to get this work done because she felt it would be better for her career and she would look more like her sisters. If I was Kylie Jenner's mother, or if I had a daughter who was like, oh, I want to get this done and this done and this done, I'd be like, whoa, like what's going on? Let's maybe talk to a therapist before giving you an entire face transplant. Because also look at Khloe Kardashian. Same family, same mom, similar kind of situation where she's gotten so much work done, people like don't even really recognize her anymore. And it's just sad to see because of all the people in the world looking out for you, of all the people in the world who should tell you you are beautiful, you come from me, it's the mom. Like, why was she not protecting her kids in this way? And yeah, it'd be great if Kylie didn't succumb to the pressures of being a Kardashian and stood up to her mother and was like, no, I'm not putting that syringe in my face, Mom. I'm gonna love myself. That's just really asking a lot from a child, especially because I'm pretty sure Kylie's like the youngest out of all of them. She was so vulnerable and so susceptible to going down the path that she did. It would be incredibly unlikely and just like an anomaly if she didn't. It's just like sad to see, because when I see Kylie Jenner, I see someone who was not protected by people in her life. I see someone who should have had a better mom, honestly. And, you know, I believe that Kylie Jenner also probably shares some of these thoughts. You know why? Because she low-key said it. She's gone on record saying that she regrets getting her breasts done at 19, which, yeah, very, very young age to get your boobs done. Your body isn't even close to being done when it comes to growing. Your body changes so much when you become a mother too and you have a child. It's just like, that's way too young to get your boobs done. And she says that her views have changed since she's become a mother and she has a daughter.
You know, I got my breasts done before Stormy. Within 6 months of like having Stormy, not thinking I would like have a child when I was 20. Like they were still healing. I had beautiful breasts, like natural tits. Sat perfectly. Just gorgeous. Like perfect size, perfect everything. Like okay. And I just wish, obviously, I never got them done. I would recommend anyone who is thinking about it to wait until after children. But yeah, obviously I have a daughter too. I would be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19. And she's the most beautiful thing ever. I want to be like the best mom and best example for her. And I wish I could like be her and do it all differently.
I'm sure Kylie's made the connection of like, my mom let me do that at 19. And yes, 19, you're technically an adult, but like, you're still a kid and you're still in that space where what your parents say to you matters. And I don't think Kris Jenner was like fighting her on getting her body done at that age. I hate to see a young girl getting bullied over trying to be beautiful for the world. Again, I know Kylie Jenner is rich and, you know, we shouldn't feel bad for her, but I mean, she still is a human being who comes from a family, comes from a mother. So although I think she has definitely her stake in all of this and has her responsibility with this stuff, she didn't wake up one day and just decide like, oh, I'm gonna completely change my entire face and body. And I just feel like there could be some empathy for these women, not Kylie Jenner specifically, but like the Love Island girls, because you bully them into getting surgery because they don't look beautiful enough, and then when they get too much surgery or they don't get surgery the right way, you bully them for getting the surgery.
When I had lip filler, I got comments every single day making fun of me for the fact that I have lip filler. Now that I don't have lip filler, and I got a lot of it dissolved, I get comments telling me to get lip filler. This is the reality being a woman. A woman ages naturally, she looks like shit. A woman doesn't age naturally and she like does some cosmetic things to age better. She shouldn't have done those things. Like, when will we be just left alone?
It's like Erin Moriarty from The Boys. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that show. Great show. You should watch it. But one of the lead actresses, Erin Moriarty, who plays Starlight, has gotten a lot of backlash because of the plastic surgery she's gotten recently. And, you know, she does look very different. It's very obvious that she's gotten work done. And, I mean, the amount of, like, hate and vitriol she's gotten is just so unwarranted. One of the journalists that commented on Erin's facial transformation was speaking on her quite negatively. She said she was beautiful, but she, I think, had a tone that implied that Erin looks bad and that she should, like, feel bad about herself for looking the way that she does.
There's this gal who starred in both of those. Her name is Erin Moriarty, and she's 29 years old, and she's a beautiful actress, but she's decided to completely change her face. This is a picture of her before, which I think was relatively recent, within the past year or so. Very beautiful girl. So beautiful that she was becoming a very famous Hollywood actress, put on camera and on screen and on multiple shows and movies. Now look at her. Look at that. She's got the Kim Kardashian lips. She's made her nose so skinny, it looks like a pencil now. She's got like what appear to me to be cheek implants. You like huge, the cheekbones are like out to here. She look like a nice, beautiful, natural gal. And I'm sorry not to pick on this Moriarty gal, but more and more young women are doing this, Michael. It's not about an objection to plastic surgery. It's about an obsession with turning yourself into this fake version of yourself, into truly like a Kim Kardashian disciple with the enormous lips and the teeny tiny nose and the huge overdone fillered cheeks. I don't know what's in there. I find it like a sign of mental illness. It's extremely upsetting. It's a massive turnoff to me. I really want to get in the heads of these young girls and say, please don't do this.
And Erin responded to this. We're all subject to levels of bullying throughout our lives, but I'm horrified and I felt like I deserved to take a second to address these things. To receive a message about a disgustingly false, counterproductive to the degree of being ironically misogynistic video of Megyn Kelly commenting on the matter, to learn the widespread nature of this has left me horrified. And I think she has every right to respond in this way. I mean, to be called mentally ill for trying to improve your confidence or gain acceptance from the world is just such a slap in the face. And yeah, like, there is some truth to what she's saying. I think she looked great before the surgery. I don't think she needed it. I don't think it's helpful to call her mentally ill or say she's got some sick obsession just because she did what a lot of actresses in Hollywood do, which is get work done. I think it is a shame that, she felt like she needed to get this work done because she looked great before, but I think that also speaks to what I've been saying throughout this whole video, which is like she was responding to the society and the world around her, and she's also an actress and she's in the public eye. She's on camera a lot. People who are on camera a lot tend to change their faces after a while because they feel like it'll improve their career, or it'll make people like them more, or whatever the reasons may be. It'll make people say less mean things about them on social media, whatever. Or maybe they're trying to quiet some noise in their own head where, they see themselves on the monitor and they're like, oh, my nose is too big, or I don't like my face from that angle, etc., etc. Anytime a woman gets work done, people are like, oh, she looks like a Kardashian now. And that solidifies the argument that, like, the Kardashians have created this beauty standard, this way of looking that everyone wants to follow. Like, everyone kind of is becoming uniform in their face. And it sucks that someone like Erin Moriarty can't be considered, like, as beautiful or as pretty as someone like a Kardashian just because she doesn't have the same kind of beauty. It's like we've erased all other sorts of beauty. You have to look exactly like a Kardashian to be considered hot in the year 2024.
Another example to the double bind of beauty conversation that I was having in this original video. If you click on the comment, you can see I was talking about the Love Island girls, Harriet and a couple of the other ones who are now being like torn apart online because they look old because of their like fillers and like lip filler and Botox and stuff. And today, the New York Times came out with this article about Erin Moriarty, who's on The Boys, and I realized that I had seen this all before. In every video of Erin Moriarty doing interviews, you see stuff like this. You can see this is a couple of days ago. We can't even focus on the interview because we're all distracted by Erin Moriarty's new face. Starlight can't even express emotion. That ain't Starlight, that's Moondark. Starlight can't even laugh anymore because of filler, blah, blah, blah. Starlight laughing in mute. My original post, I said that women are punished for the pursuit of beauty if they like miss the mark, because people like see that they're trying too hard. It like turns them off, right? There's an appropriate way to like seek the currency of beauty and like being beautiful and like reaping the benefits of that, right? So like I talked about the clean girl aesthetic and like working out all the time and having like beautiful hair and like doing all the stuff that you're supposed to do as a woman. But if you go one smidge too far, then you're like a social outcast and people hate you. And we're seeing that now with Erin on The Boys.
At the end of the day, all these women just want to be accepted and want to feel beautiful, which is normal and human. And the pressure to be beautiful feels like it's stronger now more than ever. All this surgery and fillers and stuff is just another form of conformity, which all humans do. We all conform in some way or another to feel like we belong, to ease social pressure or anxiety, even to help us build community in a way. Like, I mean, conforming does allow you to live in a society, live in a community, and we all need to live in a community. This is just kind of like a weird example of how we conform to feel like we belong, but it's true. I mean, we talk about pretty privilege and again, how your life could potentially be better if you look more attractive in the eyes of society. And like, this is what all these women are just trying to do. They're trying to receive their share of social capital and improve their lives or improve their careers. But in pursuit of that, they get their public lashings. And it sucks. All these women were little girls one day who never had any negative thoughts when they looked in the mirror, never had any thoughts about their appearance until they grew up and they were told to change themselves. They were told the things to change. They changed them and they're still called ugly. That's really gotta hurt. And I hate that even though we're going back to this idea of natural beauty, we're shaming women who don't fit that criteria, or to the eye, they don't fit the criteria, because you can look naturally beautiful but still have had work done, but it's just more subtle. We're celebrating natural beauty, but at the expense of women who try to enhance their beauty in ways that were popular and trendy like 5 minutes ago. We're not really embracing natural beauty, we're embracing effortless beauty. Because again, to be beautiful as a woman also involves it being effortless. You have to be pretty, but you can't try too hard to be pretty, because then you're just circling back around to being ugly. Or at the very least, you can look beautiful, but people are like, oh, but she bought that nose, she bought that face, she bought that body, it's not real.
Wake up, go and get your bag, but don't get too much of your bag because men don't like that. But don't be too independent. Make sure to look like an Instagram baddie, post your photos, but also be modest. Give Sophie Richie like classy, slick back bun. Try hard, but don't try too hard. Keep your mouth closed, but be independent, be spoken up, speak on your business, have a good friend life, be social, get outside, drink, but don't drink too much, everything in moderation, don't smoke, don't vape, do nothing, don't do anything fun, don't do anything actually.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? Okay, let's say you're like a kid from a low income household and you can't afford nice clothes. You wear like off-brand, like discounted clothes from like Kohl's or whatever, and people make fun of you for your clothes. You go home and you're like, everyone's wearing Ugg boots. Can I please just get Ugg boots? Like, I don't want the off-brand ones. Just let me get these Ugg boots so then kids maybe at school will like me and accept me. You get the Ugg boots, you wear them to school, and they make fun of you for wearing the Ugg boots because you're trying too hard to fit in. And they make fun of you because they think, oh, you want to be like us. You're trying to be cool. You will never be cool. It's like that. It's like you can never win. You can never win. They make fun of you for not having something, and then you get it, and they make fun of you for having that thing anyways. All that being said, you know, let's have some empathy, people. My God, how many times do I have to say that on this channel? I think it hurts people's feelings when you tell them to get lip filler and change their face, and then they do, and you say, oh, you ruined your face. Congratulations. You try to be beautiful. You're actually uglier now. Don't do that. That's like really mean. Really rude. How do you think that makes that other person feel? Anyways, thank you for watching. Join my Patreon for exclusive content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.